With the release of the new Daily Runs update indoors, it quickly became apparent that, unlike all the other features indoors, this one introduced no new secret content. Like, there really isn't a new puzzle or new lore to solve, it's just an update, right? Well, recently, I discovered a secret in this update that may have possibly changed the entire way I think about Doors lore, or at least an aspect about it. Well, kind of. It's a little complicated. You see, this secret has been hiding in the game for literal years now, only this update is when it was finally revealed to us. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to all of you guys what exactly this hidden feature is, and its possible implications towards the entirety of the game's story. This video will really have me sounding like I'm mentally insane, so please just bear with me until the end. We have got a lot to discuss today, so with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so to start, I want to focus our attention, not on the new content added in the Daily Runs update, but rather a feature that was added quite a while ago, and that is Vacuum. Vacuum is a hazard that can predominantly be found in the back door, taking the place of subrooms, and if players get too close to them, they'll be sucked inside their dark abyss, much like how vacuums function in the real world. Vacuums can be found as decorations all throughout the back door, and sometimes entire sections of rooms can be exposed to them. Now, ever since the vacuum's introduction to the back door, we have been relatively aware as to what they are. A vacuum is pure nothingness, similar to the vacuum of space. They lack any and all color because they have no substance, it's literally just empty space. That is what we all thought, and it's what was shown to us directly in the game. That is, until the Daily Runs update. Hiding in this update is a feature that just may prove that there's more going on with the vacuum than what meets the eye, something which has gone unnoticed for years. As you probably know, Daily Runs consist of a sequence of randomly generated rooms, entities, and hazards all throughout the game. Occasionally, Vacuum can be present as a threat in these Daily Runs, taking the place of side rooms, much like how they act in the back door. The thing is though, for whatever reason, Vacuums in Daily Runs are different from Vacuums anywhere else in the entire game. As I said, for as long as Vacuums existed, they just appear to be voids of black nothingness. That's what they are and what they've been known for. However, whether it be due to a lighting glitch or just fate, vacuums in Daily Runs appear a little differently. Instead of being completely black, vacuums are slightly gray in color, and that means their entire model can actually be viewed. This normally wouldn't be that significant. However, this unique portrayal of vacuums do reveal something absolutely shocking. These hazards aren't just pure nothingness. In fact, something is hiding at the bottom of vacuums which nobody has ever caught on to until now. If you peer into a vacuum in a Daily Run, you'll notice that it is spewing thick black clouds of smoke. This smoke has been in-game ever since the vacuum's introduction in the backdoor update, yet it's never been visible in-game as the smoke's color camouflages with the walls of Vacuum's model. Since the model is slightly lighter in Daily Runs, the black smoke can clearly be seen. So what does it mean? Well, it means that a physical vacuum isn't just pure nothingness. It is nothingness that for some reason is pouring out this black smoke that is seemingly evaporating before it gets anywhere, so we can't actually see it reach the top of the door leading to the vacuum. Now, it's entirely possible that this smoke is just a visual effect. It most likely is. However, given how it physically can never be seen in-game, apart from this one odd instance in Daily Runs, it could exist as a hint towards something else. This is where the video goes completely off the rails, so strap in for one of the wildest theories I've ever made thus far. Ever since the vacuum was added, theorists have been trying to relate it to Void in any way. Void isn't nothingness like the vacuum though, they are an actual entity. We know this as not only does Glitch refer to them like one in their dialogue, giving it traits of sentient life, but we can actually see its model in game when it is crucified, and as you probably know, only alive things can be crucified. This is why theories relating to Vacuum and Void are typically ignored, as it just doesn't make sense to connect the two. One thing is a living creature, and the other is just the absence of any life. How could they possibly be related? Well, this secret just may be the key. As I said, Vacuum physically produces clouds of black smoke, and Void itself is a cloud of black smoke. Is it possible that both clouds are the same, even when void is an entity and the vacuum isn't? Well, let's just explore that delusion a little bit and see how it holds up. I already mentioned both of their physical similarities. They are both black gases. However, what else is there to connect the two? Well, the way void works is that if you are left behind, the entity will emerge and engulf you. Now, contrary to popular belief, I don't think void themselves is actively responsible for teleporting you every time you are left behind. For one, the entity is actively trying to kill you. Why would they save you from themselves? It just doesn't make sense. Additionally, crucifying the entity, which renders it harmless, still triggers the teleportation, a feature which also disproves that void themselves teleports you. This means that all void really does is engulf you, which is kind of similar to how the vacuum works, as it engulfs players and kills them as there's no oxygen present in the vacuum. In fact, it's also possible that void kills you through the same method. Void doesn't have a mouth to eat you or anything like that, they're just a black gas. So it's possible the way they actually kill you is by smothering you and not allowing oxygen into your system, hence why you die. Now, the theory that void is almost like an offspring of the vacuum basically has no ground of being true at all. I want to make it abundantly clear that this is an absolutely insane speculation, and I don't really subscribe to the belief that it is true at all. There are lots of holes within the evidence I presented, such as how, like I said, void is a living being whereas vacuum isn't, so the chances of this theory being accurate at all are slim to none. Still, I just wanted to go over the evidence that does exist for this, especially now with the reveal that vacuums do produce a black smoke instead of just being entirely nothingness. Who knows, maybe sometime in the future more evidence will come to light that reveals there exists a real connection between void and vacuum. However, that time is not now, so don't go on telling people that this is true, as in reality it's just a massive steaming pile of speculation. I've also heard that those black clouds of smoke in the vacuum are just a visual effect to hide the bodies that fall into the vacuum, which is probably true, so it's entirely possible they mean absolutely nothing. So, are void and vacuum connected? No, probably not. Do I sound insane even thinking that's a possibility? Yeah, I probably do, even though, as I said, I don't really subscribe to this belief. Viewers, don't go on believing that these two things are related, you'll just sound insane, kinda like I did during this video. Still, I do think it is pretty cool that Vacuum's gas ability was kept mostly hidden until the Daily Runs update, which, as I said, basically has no secrets hiding within it, so it's kind of interesting how this was revealed and nothing else. Anyways, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of this theory. Do you genuinely believe there's any more evidence suggesting void and vacuum are somehow connected? And if so, please let me know. In the very likely case that there actually isn't, I don't know, just ignore this message. Anyways, with all of that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.